Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Expeditions Viking Let's Play. So, we've been hanging out in Reba for the last couple of episodes, and in the last one, we successfully cleared the marshes and returned to the Jarl, who basically told us, thank you for, clearing them. You're welcome to recruit now. And then basically said that we might be able to figure out who tried to kill us in the village by talking to the people at the temple. So between episodes, I've wandered around and finally found the temple. It took me a while, and in doing so, I actually stumbled across. Let's see, it was down here at the docks, right here. I stumbled across this ship, and apparently these were the people that, or the survivors of the people who attacked our village. And Gunnar started a fight with them, and we killed them all. And so we're going to sell this ship now because we already have we're making a better ship of our own. This one's all beat up. They all got killed, obviously. It was pretty grisly. But we won, and so now we know where the temple is, and we're going to talk to the people inside. Wait, where am I? There I am. And see who might have tried to kill us. Also, I managed to buy some equipment. There was another guy at the docks who was trying to pay his way to his old ancestral home because his wife, who was a shield maiden, died, and he was selling her gear. So I basically bought all of it except for the sling. So Nefja is currently wearing her armor, which is Vigunder's armor. Anyway, she's got her armor and her spear now, so she's got better gear. And I gave the helmet to Gunnar because it looked weird on Nefja. So Gunnar is, he's got something to cover his bald head now. Anywho, let's head into the temple and see what's going on with this. Okay, so Svana, I believe, is who we're supposed to talk to. The Gidia is young, not much older than you. Her blonde hair is elaborately braided, and her brightly colored dress embroidered with complex religious patterns. She greets you with a polite but distant smile, in a strangely breathy voice. She looks a little bit like Lagertha from Vikings. What's her name? Catherine Winnick or something? I forget what the actress's name is. Welcome, my name is Fana. I'm the Gidia here at the temple. Is this your first time visiting? I may have come here with my father long ago, but I don't recall. Then we're honored to host you again. Have you come to petition the gods? Let's see. I'd like to make an offering. She opens her arms in a gesture that encompasses the two shrines at the side of the room. We have shrines to Odin, Thor, and Freya here, but I am happy to accept offerings for any of the Aesir or Vanir you wish to appease. I don't have 50 rations, so... Or do I? I might have like 58, which is going to be a bit rough. I'll give 50 rations to Odin. The gods will surely grant you their favor. Take this talisman as a symbol of your devotion. It boosts our clan power too. Interesting. Would you happen to recognize the patterns on this medallion? She runs her fingers over the engraved patterns. No, they are neither of the Aesir or the Vanir. Not of our faith at all. You must find someone who has had cause to leave our lands. Try the docks? Alright, thank you for that information. So that didn't get us anywhere. I guess we'll head back to the docks then. I'm going to loot this place, though, because there's a lot of stuff. Let me just look at the different things. I don't think... Yeah, okay. What do we have there? Maybe a sword? A spear? Okay, sure. Why not? Okay, so I guess we're headed back to the docks then. I guess we'll start up here and work our way south. So... off we go. So while we're down here, we got into another little quest where there was two families fighting over a pig that was claimed to be stolen. I've already talked to one of them, but this is the other family, so let's talk to the head of the family and see what he's got to say. A pair of dour eyes regard you suspiciously from beneath bushy brows. The old man before you is lanky and slight, and though most of his lank hair is gray or white, streaks of ginger red remain stubbornly visible. What? I'm here to see a man about a pig. His eyes pop slightly as he sizes you up, jaw clenching and unclenching. Those thieving Halftinsons are trying to take away what little we have, again. Calm yourself, maybe I can help. His eyes flicker from your face to the street and back again before he visibly relaxes. You want to help? Haven't come to take something? Just tell me what this is all about. You receive a look of disbelief, mingled with a touch of relief and perhaps hope. The Halftinsons, snakes all of them, stole our fattest hog. He sighs heavily. They say it has their markings, but the notch at the edge of its right ear was just a small nick. They must have cut it larger. Fleary showed me the markings. Mardal's face rearranges into a mask of lopsided anger. It seemed to take him a moment to quell the fire long enough to spit out the words. They cut new markings, I'm sure of it. I know that pig is one of ours. How can you be so sure? He glowers at you. When you raise an animal and watch your sons tend to it every day, you can tell. Is there anyone else I can talk to that might have more information? He scratches at his scraggly beard. My boy, Sam and Paulney, saw the theft. Anybody else? A man named Builder lives nearby. He's got ties to both families. The other family mentioned that as well. It's important to note that they're having a debate about the markings on the ear. One of the markings, the one that they're talking about, looked rougher than the others, so like it might have been done later on, but there's no way to really know for sure. Let's talk to Paulney. Paulney leans against the wall, content to watch his brother toil. He is a slight man with a wiry bearing and a sharp glint in his eyes. His eyes snap to you during your approach. You get the impression that he is quickly forming a complete opinion about you, and it isn't flattering. Are you Paulney? His nostrils flare and he rolls his eyes, heaving his shoulders in an exaggerated sigh. He pauses for a moment as though composing himself. This guy's got an attitude. An accurate rejoinder to your mundane inquiry would suggest affirmation. Oh god. Talk about pompous. Are you using all those big words to try to make me feel stupid? His eyebrows arch into a mask of sympathy. That your proclaimed lack of mental acuity should inform my exercise of convoluted inflection is merely baseless conjecture. Let's see. Try to one-up him. Let's see. Then surcease that non-germane affectation of procuritanism and enunciate with brevity. A look of unmitigated shock plays across his face. It takes a moment to pick up his jaw and regain his composure. Did I stutter? He doesn't seem willing to look you in the eye for a few moments. When he does, it is with considerable respect. No, you made yourself clear. Anyway, according to your father, the Halftinsons stole your hog. An ugly sneer mars his thin face. It's not the first time they've taken something from us. His voice drips with bitterness. But they are wealthy and have powerful friends, so the truth is what they make of it. Can you tell me more about them? He taps his lips for a moment. They killed my brother Asa because he disagreed with the Jarl's appointment. He sighs wistfully, warily. We didn't agree with his views either, but murder? They never paid for what they did either. Alright, thanks for your time. Okay, we'll talk to the other brother. Sam towers over you. The summit of his head is cropped by closely cut... is cropped and closely cut. And though there is obviously great strength in his bulk, he carries himself in a pronounced slouch. He looms in, deep-set eyes squinting, an acknowledging rumble thrums in your direction. I have questions for you. His brow rearranges itself into a quizzical frown. Okay. What do you do? He looks at the mallet in his hands and smiles. Fix things for father. Help little brother. Your father says the Halftinsons stole your pig, did they? His eyes dart toward his father, who seems to be watching you both from across the lot. Our pig. Huh. I don't think he's telling the truth. I feel like his father's pressuring him into saying this. He strengthens his back, and his voice rolls like thunder from an oncoming storm cloud. Halftinsons are liars. Can you tell me more about them? His frown somehow deepens for a moment. You fear that his face might split in two under the weight of it. They killed my big brother. I'm sorry. He looks across the lot at Paulny. Why do they want to take more? I'll let you get back to your work. Alright, so that didn't really get us anywhere. We're going to have to talk to the builder guy to see if we can get an answer. I don't want to steal that. So I'm just going to keep looking for somebody who might know where this coin is from. Or this medallion is from. So we can talk to this Thor gear guy. Let's see if he's got any information. A gruff-looking man with expensive equipment stands at the docks in front of a mighty warship, idly watching the passers-by. Ho there, need to hire a ship? I bet you travel far, huh? He smiles satisfied. For sure. My crew and I have been as far up the northern coast as we've been down the southern shores. You won't find a more experienced crew anywhere. Ever happened to see patterns like this on this medallion here? He holds up the medallion and turns it in the light. I have. In fact, I was recently paid with something very much like this. The captain retrieves a sort of diadem from a sack at his feet. He hands it to you, hanging onto the medallion as collateral. It bears striking resemblance to the medallion you found on the assassins. Same materials, same patterns, there's no doubt. Who paid you with this and what for? His eyes grow narrow. Well now, I'm not altogether sure I want to say. Would 10 ortog of silver loosen your tongue? Make it 20. 200 valuables is not too bad. And we kind of need to know, so I'm willing to haggle, I guess. Sure, you got yourself a deal. I was paid by a woman called Hrodgerda to transport a group of slightly shifty-looking people to Reba. And we know the slightly shifty-looking people. We just dealt with them last episode. There were 5 of them, 3 men and 2 women. I gathered that one of the women was the sister of one of the men. When we took the job, she paid us with this. I didn't ask any other questions. Crosses his arms. Now, it's been a pleasure doing business with you, but if you're not looking to hire my crew, I have other things to attend to. Huh. Kettle harumphs conspicuously. Hrodgerda, school's assassin. Those rumors were blatantly exaggerated. Yet here we are, having survived an ambush by a killer she hired. Yes, that does appear to be the case. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it at this point. No, but let's keep it in mind in case we run into her again. Well, that didn't really give us anything new. We knew that school was trying to kill us. I was more concerned if it was somebody else, because if we had multiple enemies, that could be, you know, a real problem. But if it's the same people trying to kill us, that really doesn't mean a whole lot. So let's head into town now, where we're going to talk to Skallagrim again, or Skullagrim, whatever his name is, and see if we can finally recruit some people. Alright, so here we are, and here is Skallagrim. He stops the training when he sees you. Now here's someone who knows a thing or two about courage, lads. The monster slayer himself. I heard you took care of the trouble in the marsh. Shit, the whole city heard by now. Warriors have been flocking to the docks looking for work now that the traders don't need the extra security anymore. If you're still looking to hire, you won't have any trouble. Let me tell you what I need. Okay, so we get to create 3 new Hirdmen just as we created our player character. I'm actually going to do this off camera because, or actually we can select existing? What does that mean? Okay. Apparently we can create like extra characters and then choose from them later. But we can create 3 new ones just as we created the player character. I am going to do this off camera because there is really no reason to go through the character creation process all over again. You guys have seen it once already. But I will give you like a recap of the characters that I create. Right, so we are done creating our characters. I've decided to boot Adis because we're not going to keep her around. And so we have our usual 6 that we roll with, including the player character Hakon, and then we have 4 new created characters. Jorah is going to be a dedicated healer, even more so than Ruskva is. She does have like 2 points into bow skills, but her main thing is going to be healing the party in like camping situations. So she's a little bit better in creating medicines than Ruskva is. but she can still use a bow, so if we need her in combat, we can use her. Pretty comparable to Ruskva overall, actually. Then we have Svein, who's a hunter. Sort of built like Kettle, but a little bit more optimized, I guess. I've given him roughly equal bow skills. I've given him a bit of sword skill rather than knife skills, so his offhand weapon can be an actual sword. What else? He is also a good hunter, so during camping situations, both of them can be gathering food. He's also, what else? He's pretty much just a more optimized version of Kettle. There's really nothing else to it. I just figured archers are really good. I should get another really good archer, and so that's what he is. Egil is our defender. He's basically just a more optimized version of Asleif. Rather than hitting hard, he's got a lot more focus on endurance. So he's the most tanky character that we'll probably have. And I've given him some support abilities to go along with that. But basically his thing is sword, shield, and holding the line. And then finally we have Ulfric, who is sort of going to go two different directions for us. The main thing is he's going to be our primary crafter, so he has 4 out of 5 for both armor smithing and weapon smithing, and then his artisan skills maxed out, so he's got a 100% chance of adding a bonus attribute to anything that he crafts. And then he's also got 3 points into the Dane Axe weapon, so we have a bunch of Dane Axes. Gunnar's the only other person who can use them, but I figure Gunnar is already specialized in dual wielding and axe and shield, so I figured if I was going to give him a weapon, that would be suitable since it's 1 tree versus 2. Again, with dual wielding, you need the weapons you're using and the dual wielding skill, or with like sword and board or axe and board, you have to do the weapon and the shield. So I figured something like a Dane Axe or a spear would be ideal because he doesn't need a secondary weapon. Similar to Nefia, except for Nefia, we're trying to get her to use a bow a little bit better. So, yeah, he's using Dane Axes. He's got pretty good endurance, so he can stand in there and fight. He's also got some of the buff abilities that Gunnar has. Overall, combat-wise, he's similar to Gunnar, just with the Dane Axe, but he's also a very, very good smith, and that's what we're mainly going to use him for. So this is our 10-man herd here. As far as combat goes, we'll probably roll mostly with the same party that we have been, but obviously Svein can jump in for Kettle if Kettle's hurt. Egil can jump in for Asleif if Asleif is hurt. Actually, I can't sit Kettle, so never mind, but Egil can swap in for Asleif if we need to. Jorah could swap in for Ruskva if we need her to, and Ulfric could swap in for Gunnar if we need him to, or potentially Nefia, but I don't think we can, again, leave her either. So yeah, this is our 10-man herd. We have to select some herdmen right now. So let's just go with our usual group, I suppose. Unfortunately, it seems to be putting these guys in a weird order. Why are they at the bottom and up here? Strange. Oh, these are the ones, I created them a couple of times and then disbanded them because I didn't like the way their stats came out, so that's why they're down there. So let's do Ruskva, Asleif, Gunnar, and I think that's it. Right? 5 out of 5. Okay, so we now have our, 10-man party. Let's jump into the quest log and see what we have to do next. So it looks like we've completed that. We still have a couple of other things to do here. I can probably take care of this off camera. I don't know that you guys really need to be bothered with that. So we can talk to Astrid to move on to the next part. What else do we have? Blah, blah, blah. Ask around the market, see if anybody will buy the raider's ship. Find somebody who could scrap the ship for us. Ingmar invited us to dinner, that's right. So we've got a couple of side quests still. I'll probably stop recording this batch of episodes here. Or, you know what, maybe I'll knock out a few of these, because I don't think you guys really need to see them. We'll move on to the main stuff next time. So, yeah, let's, do I break it off here? I'm not sure where we are time-wise because I had to spend so much time creating these characters. So, my internal clock is way, way off. And my external clock is also way off. Huh. I suppose, if anything, I can just cut this one short. So, anywho, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Expeditions Viking with you. And I look forward... Actually, wait, I've got an idea. Rather than end this one early, let's do level ups, because we have skill points. So, hack on 25, where do we want to put these? We probably use some sword skill, but I've been neglecting his support abilities. He is supposed to be our leader after all. So I could boost our resistances up to 10. This gives us Inspire, which restores attack actions. So I can basically give somebody an additional attack. And that's not a terrible idea. How much would that cost me? It's going to be 9 for the first one, 12 for the next. Okay, so we'll go into leadership a little bit. And what I'd like to do is give him... Where is it? I think Diplomacy. Because that's only 3 points. So that's going to unlock more diplomatic, or more dialogue options, but I think that'll be really useful. And then with Ruskva, we're trying to make her a better archer, so we'll continue with that. And then I should probably try to make her a better healer as well, but I don't have the points for it. We could try to go more into witchcraft. Again, don't have the points for it. That might not be such a bad idea, so that she can kick people off of her. And then as far as passives go, Fencer, that's not going to help her. Avenger, none of these are really going to be all that useful. Yeah, I don't see anything that's jumping out. What about support skills? Nothing. What about utility skills? Scouting, that's not going to help. Tinkerer. Hunting. Repairing. Preserving. We could give her diplomacy as well. It seems like a bit of a waste. Let's see. Halves the deterioration risk for infections. That's actually not a bad idea. Gunnar. What to do with Gunnar? Probably give him more shield skill. I think I'll go 2 into that. Just because he was terrible with shields before. So he'll actually have a decent chance of blocking stuff now. And then, as far as offensive skills go, I think he's got more than enough. Let's see, 4 points. Where can we fold that? We could dump it into repairing, but we kind of have... Well, it would be nice to have somebody else who could repair so that he can focus on crafting. So that might not be such a bad idea. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that. Asleif, we wanted to get you better sword skills, but more shield skill wouldn't be a terrible idea either. We give a shield bash, which is not a bad idea. It knocks people down. That's actually really useful. Knocking people down is way better than stunning them, because it opens them up to basically kill shots immediately following. What else? So we have 7 points. We could give him a throwing ability. Eventually we'd be able to throw axes at people, which might not be such a bad thing. He doesn't have the skills for anything other than protect, but he doesn't have the points to buy that right now, or to get that right now. Eventually, though, we should give him protect and taunt. He can also repair. I didn't know that. Could give him better guarding skill for camp. Not a bad idea. He's not really the diplomatic type. He's a bit too rough around the edges for that. Or I could just hang on to the points. You know what? Plus 50 armor piercing for all attacks is not a bad thing to have. Let's see. Nefia. We maxed your spear skill out. I could give you a little bit of archery skill. So let's get you like 1. I might not go too far beyond that. Maybe just like 2. But I don't think that would be such a bad thing. Charge could be nice too. Especially for like the initial turn. What else? She's not really a support type character. She's like a DPS character. guard wouldn't be such a bad idea. What else is she good at? She's good at scouting. Eventually I'd like to make her good at hunting, but that's not super important right now. I don't know. I don't know what the best thing to give her would be. We could just get her to 2 bow skill right now. I don't know how useful that'll be, though. We've seen how useless Ruskva is with a bow, and she's already better than Nefia is. Although Nefia has actually not very good perception. Her perception is actually way better, so yeah, no point in really wasting points on bow skill. In that case, I don't know. Let's go guard 2, because you're usually on guard duty. And then I might give you... Man, I just have no idea. How about evade? Dodging range attacks is never a bad thing. And that leaves us with 4 points they'll probably just hold on to, or throw into one of these. Sure, why not? Kettle. I guess we'll get you to archery 5, which gives us Hailstorm. Performs an area of effect attack in 3 random hexes in and around the target hex at 50% damage each. That actually doesn't sound that useful. I'm curious as to the damage difference. So 40, 50, so it's 10 more damage, which is not a bad idea. Alternatively, let's see. Powerful kick is pretty cool, but on a backline character like him, it's never really going to come into play. But basically, it just means that when you kick somebody, it knocks them down. And that's, again, pretty good. It could actually come really, really useful. If he's ever engaged directly, I could kick somebody down so they're on the ground and then shoot them with his bow, and that would do a ton of damage. It's so tough to decide with all these. I think I'm going to get him to bow skill 5 first, and we'll save these 3 points and put them into that next time. Alright, so we'll end it here and pick back up with our adventure in the next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Expeditions Viking with you, and I look forward to seeing you back here for the next episode.